Hey, sweeties. I know it's been a long time, so we're going to ignore a lot of things like the background, which is a study room in my local library. Um, yeah, we're going to ignore my hair. We're going to ignore the fact that I still have not learned how to edit, all that fun stuff. Boy, let's get the negativity out of the way first thing, huh? Okay, so before I go on, I do want to say thank you. Thank you to everyone, not only who's taking the time to watch this, but thank you to everyone who has subscribed. Last time I checked, we're up to 130 subscribers. And for anyone who is new around here and doesn't realize and thinks I mean like 130,000, no, 130 humans have decided that they would like to be subscribed to this channel, and I really do appreciate it. It's cool. It's very cool of all of you. So thank you for your support. Okay, so I'm a little late with the sweetness review because the new year 5784 is in full swing. It's already, wait, has a month of Kislev started? I don't think so. We're almost the month of Kislev, which in like within like a day or two. And and for those who don't know, Hanukkah is celebrated starting on the 25th day of Kislev, which means it's on the 24th night. Okay, I'm gonna confuse myself. Every Jewish day starts the night before, for anyone who's new around here. Okay, moving on. I could start over, but I don't think I'm going to. Okay, so the sweetness review from the previous year on the Jewish calendar, which was 5783. That's what we're doing. So we can only talk about sweetness and joyful things, in contrast. I mean, really, we can only talk about anything as in contrast to other things. So, you know, it might start sound like I'm starting to say a negative thing, but hear me out. For example, um, this past year, I was diagnosed with diabetes, but it's not bad news. I actually knew that this could happen one day. Um, I could have been more cautious. I had adjusted my habits slightly, but clearly not enough. But here's the thing: good things came from me going to the doctor and getting this diagnosis. Um, so there were I'm not going to go into a bunch of ridiculous detail. You can ask in the comments if you really want to know, and and I'll share. But I know I tend to overshare, so I'm not going to go into gory detail. But there was just some annoying and sometimes frustrating things my body was doing um, in the past few years, and I discovered once I started changing my food and beverage habits. Those things cleared up. So those were complications of unchecked diabetes. So that was actually good news that I got the diagnosis because that was to me the wake up call to really change my ways. And I have. Um, my notes are all over the place. Sorry. This is going to be a ride. Oh, so birthday season in my family has begun. So yeah, so this birthday season, myself and my kids are turning. Uh, I'm, do I say it in order, in age order, or in order of who had their birthday when? I'm gonna go in order of whose birthday is when. That'll be nice and confusing, won't it? Okay, so my eldest just turned 26. My youngest is going to be turning 20, and I am going to be turning 52, and my middle guy is turning 23. So I don't know why I felt like I had to tell him to say everyone's age, but anyway, it is birthday season, and yeah, so that's fun. And I already said that, and I already said that. Oh, one of the nice side effects again about getting my diabetes diagnosis is um, I have been overweight for a while. Not in the last few years, it hasn't been in the obese category, but I was before. And and that's not something that anyone needs to ever be ashamed about. It happens. It happens. And there can be a number of reasons, and sometimes there's an underlying health issue that causes it, and sometimes it's just habits that could be better, as was the case with me. And that is the case with a lot of people. But the thing is, we still don't need to be ashamed about that. It's just life stuff happens. Anyway, so yeah, so when I started avoiding the carbs and especially avoiding sugary stuff, yeah, the more of the weight just sort of melted itself off. I wasn't worried about it. So that was a nice little side effect. Yeah, that's as specific as I'm gonna get. Well, there's one other thing I'll say specifically because I was really excited that because my hair had been thinning for years, very slowly, and it started getting to the point where I was starting to look online for wigs. Um, and bald is okay too, but everyone's got their preferences of how they would like to present themselves to the world. So, yeah, so I was looking at wigs, but my hair again, once my blood sugar started getting back into a normal range, my hair is starting to fill in again, so that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. It's slowly coming back, but it's a little better. Anyway, um, another thing, um, oh, I could have said this first because this was like last winter already. I became able to do community posts for anyone who's really new around here. So that's nice. So I try to do a community post every week. What day? I think for a while I was doing them every Thursday, and then just it started getting out of hand. I started falling behind. I'd wait till the end of the day, and then it's night, and then I'd be like, "Oh shoot!" I'd be like about to go to sleep, and then remember I didn't do a community post. That was very silly. I'm getting sidetracked again. That's okay. Anyway, so I should cross these off as I say them, shouldn't I? Haha. Okay. I said that. I said that. Did I say we're up to 130 subscribers? Yes, thank you. Thank you, everybody. I mentioned that. I don't care. I'm being very. Oh, here is something that is exciting. Wait a second. I had. No, I didn't say that yet. Anyway, um, oh, so um, last winter, I don't think I mentioned it in a video, but I think there was a picture in in the community post that I had made a skirt and with pockets. The first skirt I ever made with pockets. So that's an accomplishment. So yay, that was a sweet thing to have done in the past year. But um, what I was not at liberty to disclose at that time is that my youngest, my dear little spawn who is turning 20, is a trans girl. So I'm now allowed to say that. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in at least one post already, but I haven't said it in a video yet. To, have I? No, no, I didn't. Um, anyway, so yes. So yeah, so I have a daughter. I have an NB and a son and a daughter in that order. Um, yeah, okay. So let's see. So number three is out, and I've made her a skirt with pockets. Yeah, that was actually cool and weird, figuring out how to do the pockets and exactly how to place them. That was fun though. So, we I've been sewing since I don't know, I was a kid. I don't know when I learned to sew by hand, but I've been sewing with a sewing machine since seventh grade. So I was what, 11 or 12, something like that. So, but yeah, but I never I never put pockets in any of my own stuff. I just didn't bother. Anyway, so you never know. You could be doing something for a long time and still learn a way to make it better, learn a way to do whatever you're doing even better. So it's cool. Um, I not only finally got a job in the past year, but at one point I technically had three jobs. I don't anymore. I do not have three jobs. I do have two very, very part-time jobs. One is caregiving. I am a licensed caregiver. Um, I guess it's technically a companion position right now, and I can't really disclose any of that. And even if I thought I could, it wouldn't be ethical. So anyway, but yeah, nice lady. That's all I'll say. and and helping out some friends with doing some chores, and I get paid, and that's really nice. And they let me do laundry at their house, so that's while I'm there anyway. So that's even nicer. So yeah, I am very blessed to have some wonderful friends. Oh, I was gonna put this in a community post, but I'm just gonna say it here. Well, I might put it in a post also. We'll see. I don't know yet. Um, I had a realization about myself that I am not happy about, actually. I gotta cross this out. Oh, let me see that. Okay, sorry. There was something about myself that I realized. Well, you know how someone will say, whether it's verbally or like in a post online or something, will be like, oh, I'm not racist, but, and then say something that's obviously racist, or I'm not transphobic, but, and then they'll say something transphobic. Yeah. Um, so I caught myself, I don't think I said it out loud to anyone, but I was definitely thinking, well, I'm not ageist, um, but evidently I have been an ageist butt. So this is me publicly apologizing for that. And um, for those of you who know me, you might know what I'm about to say. For those of my younger friends who know me in the real world, you probably know what I'm about to say. Um, yeah, I haven't actually fixed this with anyone in person yet, so I need to. But but this is where I'm going to start because once it's on the internet, it's out in the world forever. So yeah, so I remember thinking, I'm not ageist, but I just like people younger than 25 calling me Miss Naomi or calling me by a title, not just calling me by my first name. And yeah, that that's completely unnecessary and it's not real cool. So I'm sorry. And I do have a couple of younger friends who are subscribed who I know are going to see this. So yes, this means I am sorry. You do not have to call me Miss Naomi. You can just call me Naomi if you want. I don't care anymore. I need to get over that. And is it because of my own trauma? Yeah, it is. I figured that out. So, yeah, I was very disrespected when I was younger. And I don't know if it's coincidental or if it was subconsciously very intentional, but that did shift when I was 25 because that's the age I was when I got married. And, you know, I had my wedding band and I had you know, a scarf or a hat all covering my hair, and all of a sudden it was ma'am, So yeah, yeah, it's unnecessary, and yeah, it just wasn't cool of me, so I am sorry. And yeah, I am letting that go. I'm over that. And yeah, so there we are. We we have to be able to admit that we have done or said or thought something uncool, because that will help us to keep learning and keep growing. So, yeah, nobody's perfect. And, you know, we don't have to pretend we are, because, yeah, that wouldn't be cool either. Um, oh, so another thing that happened in this past year is that I attended my first Pride event in person. And um, I know I don't generally say, like, I don't really say where I live, do I? I live in San Diego. It's a really big city. San Diego, California, USA. It's a really big city, and it's one of the top 10 largest cities in the US. And um, yeah, I struggle with worrying about making my community a target. Not that I'm so famous, but you know what I'm saying? It's like I feel like I have to be protective of my loved ones, and especially with what's currently happening right now. And I'm not gonna get into that. There are people who would make the existence of myself and my family political just because we're alive, but I don't want to get overly political at the moment. I know. Yell at me in the comments if you must. Uh, please don't. If anyone does want me to specifically address what's going on in Israel right now, um, yeah, with the continued attacks from Hamas, if you want me to talk about that, let me know. Leave a comment and ask whatever your question may be, and then I will seek to find out what I can, because I kind of I don't know what to do with political stuff. Um, it just it's like my brain, it just doesn't compute. But I will do my best if that is what is wanted and needed around here. So um, yeah. Anyway, so what was I going on about? I was actually talking about um, that this past year I attended my first in-person Pride event. Now I'm trying to remember why I got off topic. I don't know, but I am 18 minutes in and I'm not going to restart. I'm going to be stubborn and plug right on ahead. Anyway, yeah, so it was fun and it was exciting, and I was really, really emotionally overwhelmed. I was crying most of that day, honestly, on and off. Obviously I wasn't sad, but I was just overwhelmed with gratitude that myself and my children and so many people are living in time and a place where we are relatively free, and you know where, where, where my kids are able to access all the health care that they need, currently at least, but they're able to access the medical care that they need. um, yeah. Yeah. Oh, so for anyone new around here, so not only is my youngest child a trans girl, my firstborn is a trans non-binary being. So, and my middle guy is just a guy, and um, I I only say things about my kids that I'm allowed to say, online. Because again, you put something out on the internet, it's out there forever. So I talk the least about my son because he prefers it that way, and I respect that. And I say the most about my firstborn because they are less private about stuff. So, and I respect and appreciate that. So, like, you know, yeah. Anyway, anyway, yeah. So going to Pride and just seeing the absolute ocean of humanity all around me. Um, yeah, like okay, now I know how I got off on the tangent before because San Diego's a big city, so the Pride celebration was huge. So yeah, there was a lot of people just being themselves, and it was so beautiful and so moving. And yeah, oh, my let's see, is it my also changed my profile picture. I figured out how to do that. I don't think it's the one from Pride, but it's me wearing the same t-shirt, which I got through my friend Maura Leora's Etsy store, which is called Schmata Shop. So check that out. I do not know how to put a link. I'm sorry, I'm still learning. Um, but when I figure out how to do that, or when I get someone's help to do that, I will do that. Then I'll, put a link in the description. So Schmata Shops, SCHMATTE shop. Anyway, that's her Etsy store. Anyway, so and yeah, so that's where I got that t-shirt. And I think I'm gonna change my profile picture again to the picture that was taken at Pride by my friend Elizabeth. Thank you. Um, yeah, now I have to remember to do that. That was a thing I forgot to do. Okay. Um, what was the other thing I was gonna? Oh, there was one more thing I have on my list to mention. That was a sweet thing from the year 5783 of the Jewish calendar. And that was actually, no, wait a minute. No, I actually can't put that on the previous. Well, I can still mention it, but it actually doesn't count because it was after the new year had already begun. So I think it was right around that time. I am really overthinking this. Anyway, I started volunteering at my synagogue more regularly, and specifically, I'm I'm that person who comes in on Thursday afternoon and starts preparing the food for um, after the Saturday morning service because we always have a lunch. It's not usually anything fancy, but we always have lunch, and it's relatively healthy for the most part. So, yes, I'm that person who puts things on platters and makes the egg salad. Yeah, pretty much. It's yeah, yeah. No, it's fun and you know, I'm contributing something to the community. At different phases in our lives, we find ourselves with different opportunities in a variety of ways, whether it's, you know, opportunities for education, whether it's opportunities for travel, or just opportunities to give back to the community that we love, that has shown us so much love. And this is my way of doing that. So they love me, I'm feeding them. Um, yeah. Oh, and this is fun. This is fun. The details have not all come together yet, but I'm hoping that because I know my way around the kitchen and I have checked with the person in charge already, no, which is not me. I don't have the key to the place, so I'm not in charge. But if all the details come together, I actually will be baking a cake because I really miss baking. Because another thing for anyone who's new around here, I am currently homeless. I live in my van and enrolled in a safe parking program, so I'm not in any danger. Um, but it's but it's still living in a van. It's still not fun, and I miss having a kitchen. I miss baking in particular. So um, since I'm the one who gets to some degree make a few decisions about you know the food that gets served on Saturday. Um, so one of the upcoming Saturdays, probably the one after my birthday, um, we're gonna have some birthday cake. um, yeah, how it goes kind of depends on a few details. I gotta check on what supplies are available. But yeah, I have babbled on, and thank you to anyone who is actually listening to all of my rambling. And just know that I really appreciate you guys, and I love you guys, and whatever is happening, whether you are currently experiencing something sweet that you are going to, document and remember at the end of the year, or going through the other kind of stuff um, that you're not going to want to remember, but hopefully you will, so that you can see the contrast. Um, whatever's going on with you, you're still here. You're hanging on. I'm still here, and um, I will see you again. And take care. And see you next time.